Hello, welcome back to Behind the Shine. Hey, last week, Ali, you were mentioning something about you turned $5,000 into a multi-million-dollar business. I had a few phone calls from that and a few emails. Want to tell us a bit about what happened?
Yep. I did actually receive a few emails and calls about that as well. So a lot of franchisors and franchisees wanted to get more details. And the storyline is when I first met you and purchased Jim's carpet cleaning region, I only had $5,000. And you mentioned we can work things out, and you gave me the opportunity to invest in a northwest region for carpet cleaning. With that $5,000, and we did the balance on vendor terms, and I think I paid it off within the first 12 or 18 months from the sale. So you just started with that $5,000. Obviously, it took years to
What year
build.
was that?
That was in 2000 May. 2007 May.
2007 in May, you purchased a carpet cleaning
region with 4 franchisees.
That was sold to, I think, it's $55K.
Yeah, it was $55K, $5,000 I paid up front, and the balance, I think we had a deal where...
It sounds like you got your GST back.
So I got the GST back.
You considered it zero, but that's
Maybe.
Fine. So you, from memory, you purchased the region, you did very, very well there.
So that region had 4 franchisees at the time, so we grew that to about 24 within 2 years.
That was good, yeah.
And obviously, I paid you back within a couple of years, and also with the money that I made from those sales, I actually reinvested the money back into buying more regions. And I've also purchased a region from Trevor, he was a franchisor that looked after Southeast Melbourne, and I purchased that for about $88,000 or $85,000 at the time. And
so then you owned Victoria.
Carpet Cleaning Victoria, and we grew that, and we've sold that, and I've reinvested that money into to car detailing, all of car detailing Australia. So it was pretty much a deal where I sold my Victoria region, and with the exact amount, I purchased the rights for car detailing Australia and New Zealand off you again. Yeah. And that was a division that had 11 franchisees at the time.
Sounds like I wasn't doing too well before you then.
Those divisions and regions, I think you had your focus on cleaning, and those smaller divisions, they needed more time, more resources, more care, and I think it worked well, and we grew that car detailing division to 200 plus franchisees now.
But still, that doesn't equal $20 million.
That's right, there's more to it.
How did you make the rest?
So we've started a contracts department
we did.
About 10 years ago, and what that is it's where customers or national commercial clients requesting multiple sites or multiple divisions. And we started with cleaning. We had defence housing, DHA. We won the tender for that. Then we had masters before they went under. So we had bits and pieces. But then we started speaking to Jim, and Jim actually was running his own contracts department, but he was making a loss at the time. So he said we could probably merge and run it and make it more profitable. So obviously Jim trusts us with making things work, and we've taken over that contracts department.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but when we took the contracts department on, I actually myself looked after the bookkeeping.
That's right. Yes.
And I thought I can do this, and I did it for possibly about 3 months.
Yes, I remember coming in the morning and seeing you entering a $66 invoice, saying,
I don't know how many invoices we were doing then, but these days, how many invoices do we...
Last month we did 10,000 invoices.
So 10,000 invoices. Obviously, I would have went nuts doing that.
Yeah.
So the way we were able to scale that is we employed people overseas, didn't we? Yeah, so we made a decision not to touch the income from the contracts department for at least 4 years. And let that bank up and build up, right?
That's right. So for the first 4 years, when we first took over, it was actually making a loss. Yeah. So we were going backwards $5,000 every month. I clearly remember the figure. At the time, I think we were at a cafe across the road, and he said, is it really worth the hassle? Like, we've got an employee, we actually had one person running it, but due to the income, and there was a lot of problems with it, because when Jim was running the contracts department, he wasn't getting paid for certain jobs, and he wasn't paying the franchisees for the jobs they didn't get paid. So when we took over, there was franchisees from previous 6 months you haven't been paid. So we've paid them even though we didn't get nothing for them as well. So we've wanted to do the right thing with all the franchisees that actually provided service even before our time. But from making a loss for the first 4 years, then we quickly turned things around and started making a good profit. But we've made a and this is a good business advice for a lot of businesses out there. A common reason for businesses to fail is cash flow reasons, where the directors or the owners, just because you've made $100,000, it doesn't mean that's all profit, or it doesn't mean that's all you can go and spend that. We actually didn't touch a cent for 4 years, and we kept reinvesting into our systems, our programs, our staff, our advertising, and we also use those funds to buy back more regions.
It's a pretty big achievement, not to touch revenue from a business, especially a business that was turning over millions. And in fact, we weren't touching the income, but we also were contributing to the overdraft of it. And
yes. So one of the problems that we identified in the early days was a lot of these contracts that we have, they have terms, because we're dealing with large corporations, it could be 30 days, 60 days, sometimes 90-day terms. However, a lot of our franchisees, they can't afford to wait 60 days for a payment.
And we shouldn't.
Yeah, surely they shouldn't. And so we've made a deal that we paid initially. We made a deal where every franchisee got paid within 30 days, regardless if we got paid or not. Yeah. Then you made a decision. You said, let's make it even better for the franchisees. Let's do 2 weeks, 14-day payment term for all franchisees, and this is a non-negotiable for us. Our contract staff and our bookkeeping team know this. It's not negotiable. 2 weeks from date of invoice, everyone gets paid. Regardless if we have a 30-day or a 60-day or a 90-day, regardless if we don't get paid in some cases. We had some builders that went broke, and we've still paid those franchisees.
I think when we made that decision, things turned around and the universe opened for us, because, since then...
Good karma.
I don't know how many millions, but it's a pretty good business. And
yeah.
We're providing $30+ million a year worth of work to our Gyms Group franchisees per annum.
Yes.
Which is amazing for them. It's amazing for our team. Maybe not so for our overdraft.
Yeah.
I think it's like a couple of million.
Yes.
So it is what it is. So that was a great thing. So
and I remember celebrating our first $1 million behind us over here. We were the biggest business in the country, celebrating our first $1 million. Yeah. And I can tell you we'll be celebrating very soon 100 million turnover. So
good effort there, Aldi. All right, so we banked up the money. And then we shifted the way we do things in the Gyms Group, in the Gyms Cleaning Group. We decided to buy back some of the regions that we had sold, making them flagship regions. Yes. And I think we got up to 73 regions that we had, and our objective was to reduce that to almost maybe less than 10 left. And I think we're well on our way there, and there's only about 30 something left.
That's right.
Which is, again, I think was a $10+ million.
Yeah, it's a $10 million investment over the last 3 years that we've invested back into the business, buying back those regions. And what that means is we have a great team of franchisors, but certain regions were not performing at the level that we expected them to, and we started buying back those regions. And the good franchisors are still with us, and they're running in an awesome flagship. We're on the same page.
Correct. It's all right. So we bought back some of the regions, which has now increased our income and your own income, because the contracts department is owned 50-50 between Ali and myself. That was one of the gifts to Ali from
Thank you.
Believing in me.
Yep.
And initially, like you said last week, taking on the CEO role for
without pay.
Without pay. So it certainly worked out.
I think we work quite well. As everyone will know, hey, you're the ideas man and you've got the vision. And I guess I'm good at implementing those ideas. Yes, and we're on the same page. And sometimes, very often, that we'll be thinking of the same thing, and it's kind of weird that we just mention it at the same time, or
Well, we do spend a lot of time together.
maybe that's why.
Okay, so does the future hold now? Like, isn't 20 million enough for you, Ali?
It's not about the money. It's more about providing work to the franchisees. I think that makes a huge difference in our business and our model. And obviously, it's a great feeling to have a look at the ATO contractors list, and we see all these franchisees, how much we paid at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's great because we're helping those franchisees with their own business and their lifestyle as well. But the future, obviously, we're very excited about building a purpose-built office that's going to be across the road here in Broadmeadows, and that's 4 stories, and it's going to have a beautiful terrace, and where franchisees can actually pop in, and there'll be like a little cafe on the bottom.
Yep.
So over the next 2 years, hopefully they'll be ready. And
yeah, well, that's one of the things that I'm excited about as well, because that's something that I feel like I can give back to the community. The building's going to be purpose-built, and hopefully we can open it to the public at least once a quarter, where the youth of the area can drop in, and then we can just do DIY sessions, teach them how to buff a car, or how to vacuum, or hold a mop, which can help with some day-to-day life skills. So that's exciting for me.
very good. Thanks, Hayla.
No worries.
Thanks for your time, and
Good
we'll
job.
see you next week.
High five, mate.